Perception is Reality by Dias Dixon was a pretty depressing, I think, overall video, even though at the very end the message was positive or at least empowering. But the actual video itself was pretty sad, and that's usually when we get kind of a glimpse into um, how these racial prejudices affect individuals and whole communities. Especially right off the beginning when he talks about his best friend being beaten to death when he was still in kindergarten, and the problems he had to face even when his family, as he said, pulled together and was able to move out of the projects into white um, Las Vegas. And so even after trying so hard to move to a higher level in the social structure, and then going to a predominantly white school, and then being treated negatively just because he was black, just shows that even if you increase, your standing in the social hierarchy, people will still potentially treat you badly, um, and the them treating him badly, for me at least, kind of reminded me of the perceptual constancy point in chapter 3, where it's talking about how people like to see things the way they were slash are because they're seeing them the way they were, instead of revising their position on something and seeing how something could change in the future. And I think that maybe plays in with how he was treated when he went to school there, and how they put him into the English learning class. I can't exactly recall what it was called. Um, but one thing that I'm sorry, another theory that I kind of was able to pull something together was the attribution theory, um, which kind of reminded me when he was talking about how he changes the way he speaks based on if he's talking to his dad or his sister or a friend. Um, and when I was looking through chapter 3, I couldn't really find, I think, exactly that point I'm trying to make. And so I think it might be from an earlier chapter, but it's the communication accommodation theory. So basically, that you will change the way you talk, and your verbiage and your tone and stuff to properly reflect whoever you're talking to. So the way he was, an example for him would be that probably when he talks to his parents or his sister, it'll be closer to the way like anyone would talk, a little bit faster, not as formal. And then when he speaks, for example, at the TED Talk, or when he writes, as he mentioned, for his nonprofit, he speaks in a more professional manner. Where for example, he was told that he writes like a girl, but it was more the physical handwriting. But the same thing can be applied, to the way he would talk. Um, I think that the big takeaway, or a takeaway for me from this video, was that even if some people mean well, or if it seems like some people mean well with the progress they're doing, um, they don't mean well until you actually see the results. So if he was able to move to a nicer neighborhood and was able to go to a school, but still they treated him badly, even though he was just a regular student. But they treated him badly just because he was not white. Um, and I think, I mean, obviously that's not fair at all. And another takeaway would be when he was talking about the I think the basketball games, and he had friends asking about how the white kids knew him, and so they assumed that he wouldn't know them, or that they wouldn't know him, because why would he mingle with the white community if he's a black person? If This is kind of what I got from that, and that kind of goes similar to the same thing with the perceptual constancy, where his friends from his community didn't think that it was possible for him to know, the white people from their community at the time, just because that's not something that was, I guess, considered very like normal at the time when this happened. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it for my analysis. It was a very thought-provoking video. I'm just having a kind of a tough time properly organizing my thoughts on that, but that's my 2 cents on this question. So thank you.